Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. I go by Perry Flips on Instagram, Pothead Picker on X, and then there's the Flips and Giggle Facebook page, Flips and Giggles Facebook page that's up there as well. So close to yard sale season. Some people probably have gotten their yard sale season started up already. I'm jealous. Taking a road trip this week. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Oh, this is too loud. I might have to pause this at some point because my child is not sleeping. She's to terrible twos. And my first one was like, she wasn't like bad at two, but she was, she's definitely like, what's the word? I don't know. She was more like emotional than anything else. Like my youngest is just like destruction. Like she gets mad and she just wants to break shit. She was like wiping shit off the table today. Like just so. It's been I almost didn't do the podcast. I was like, dude, I'm fucking like exhausted of going back and forth with her, trying to keep my cool. I've been pretty good all day. I did kind of snap at her a couple times, but she's just on one right now. But, this is the last time I'm going to go through it, so I try to soak it up while I'm getting abused verbally and physically. So yeah, it's another week of reselling. As you can see, so last week the video like cut out after like 13 minutes. So I just uploaded the audio. I don't know what happened. I never got up. I just recorded straight through. So I'm not sure what the fuck happened, but I'm recording this one, so I'm hoping that it'll work and I can upload the video to this one and finally get the other stuff uploaded. I got all my harder schoolwork is done. Now I've got like a couple things just due Friday. I've got like one thing due Friday and then a couple things due Monday, but nothing crazy. Then I'm off next week and we're taking a road trip. But yeah, so this past week, the last time I did the podcast, I had picked up like a bunch of bags of clothes. The guy was like, oh, you can just take it and donate whatever. So I kind of sorted it. I've already sold probably like $300 worth of stuff. Sold a jacket today for $50. Sold a sweatshirt for like $150. Sold another sweatshirt for like $100. So a couple $100 already. And still have a bunch of stuff I'm listing. I don't know. I've kind of like been looking into other platforms for clothes. It just, to me, it just doesn't feel like these type of clothes are clothes that like younger people would buy, and I don't think younger people are buying their shit on eBay. So I downloaded the Depop app. I'm looking into CrossLister. I'm not sure if that's the way I want to go. Like I've thought about Etsy, but then it's like, do people buy clothes on Etsy? Like, so I think I'm going to do the Depop route. There's also Poshmark, but I don't know. I looked it up and it said that like Depop was the best. I don't know. I don't think they have selling fees, which I was interested about. So I just got to open an account and just do it. And just like, because I feel like that stuff will sell quicker on, like a lot of the stuff that I have will sell quicker on, like, and that's what I'm all about, is like getting rid of shit quick. Then I thought like maybe Whatnot, but I'm like, are people buying clothes to wear on Whatnot? Like maybe, because I think a lot of Whatnot is like addiction based. You know what I mean? You can just pop on that app at any time. And if you're like a lonely person with money, or access to like a credit card, you're just going to sit there and watch these people do this shit over and over and over again. And like, you're going to bid like little by little. It's going to add up. I don't know why I just launched into that whole thing about what, the psychology behind people who buy and whatnot. But yeah, so yeah, I think Depop, is that what it was called? I almost called it D-Mark. I think it's Depop. So I'm going to try that one, and we'll see how that goes. I've been volunteering with the old ladies at the thrift store. So like after years, I've been asking like, hey, you need some help? She always tells me no. And so I finally went last week, and it was all old ladies. Like I did it all, like I basically did the whole store, not like the whole store, but like I was doing like 5 bags to like every one that they would be doing, you know what I mean? So like I just basically ran through, took everything out of the off the shelves, whatever, and then bagged it up. And then the next day I had to help them. Like I took my trailer over and we drove the stuff to drop it off to donate. So basically saved them. They would have had to take a couple trips if I hadn't brought the trailer. They probably would have had to at least make 2 trips. So yeah, just like trying to build up some, and then I was like, oh, so when are we, gonna set the store up? They're like, oh, probably later in the month. So I told them which days I was not going to be around. I was like, yeah, I'll be around after that though. So hopefully I can get first dibs on stuff with the other old ladies. I'm sure they're not going to want the same stuff as me. So although anytime there's like designer shit, you know what I mean? That's going to be tough because they're going to be like, so I don't know. We'll see how it's going to go. But yeah, I've been asking them for like 3 years and they're like, no, we don't need any extra help. And then I go there and it's like all fucking old ladies. I'm like, well, apparently you needed some help. Not that old ladies can't do shit, but it took me like fucking 30 minutes to clear out the whole store. They were like dug in, preparing to be there all day. So, but anyway, I don't know why I just zoned out for a second, but yeah, so I've been doing that, and I'm hoping, I don't know why I have a little piece of paper here. I'm hoping that when I come back from this road trip that it will be like pretty much yard sale season. There's like a couple of things that happen like the first week of April, and then like they start trickling in, and yeah, I'm excited for that because like once it's yard sale season, like it gets a lot almost easier. There's a lot less competition because like when it's not yard sale season, everybody kind of converges on the same sales. And so like there's less sales, there's more competition. And then as soon as yard sale season happens, it's like everybody kind of sticks to what's convenient for them. And like I've found that like in my area, nobody really wants to come out to where I'm at. I've probably talked about this before, but like you can't really, unless you're going to like the Cape, which is like a what's it called? Like Cape Cod, whatever. I mean, you fucking know what it is if you've seen a map. And so yeah, so nobody really wants to go like deal with that in the summer unless you're going there. You know what I mean? So like I'm in kind of close to that area where people aren't going to like, unless they're coming out to, you know what I mean? So there are still people, but it's not like, other resellers aren't going to like fucking rush here first. You know what I mean? Unless there's a really good sale, which happens. But so yeah, I'm going to have my yard sale this weekend. I just started pulling stuff out. Like originally I was not going to do one. I was just gonna like say fuck it and just wait a little bit longer, but like I have so much stuff you can't see, but behind me there's like clothes behind me just from the last big haul that I got. And like that that Boston Celtics shirt is like fucking gigantic. It says one size fits all, and it's like probably like a 6X large. I've never seen a fucking shirt that big. So I gotta look up. I know I just sold a jacket from the same brand and it went for like $50. So I don't know. I'm gonna look it up and see. There might be like somebody that's like some gigantic person, or somebody might buy it like, you know, so they can, two people can wear it and as like a funny thing, you know, like a 2 people shirt, you know. Sorry, that was like a high thought. That wasn't like a normal thought. Every once in a while they creep out. So, hold on, I'm getting my mouth getting dry. So I haven't advertised my sale yet. I usually do it like a couple days before. And like I just advertise everywhere. Like everywhere I look for yard sales, I advertise it there. So it's just like it's everywhere. Because some people use one thing, some people use the other. There's one guy who's always like, "Oh, Facebook sucks." And like, yeah, it does suck if you don't know kind of how to use it, like for reselling. And I mean, I've talked before about how it sucks, like as an actual platform. It's actually been funnier lately, like since he made that announcement where he's like, "Oh, we're not gonna fucking censor shit." So I don't know like how much of that has to do with it, but like I don't know. It's been funnier lately. I've been like actually sending funny shit to people, like offensive shit. Like there's one I had to click. You had to click off of it because it was like it's like sensitive content, and it was like a clip of Woody and Buzz, and they were like flying. They were flying. It's the scene where they're trying to like land in the car, and he's like, "Oh, you missed the truck." And he's like, "We're not aiming for the truck." And then it just shoots clips to like a shot of a plane flying into one of the towers on 9/11. It's so fucked up. Oh shit, I probably just butchered it. But yeah, I sent that to a couple people and I thought that was funny. Like that's some shit that I feel like you wouldn't have seen a couple months ago. So that was pretty funny. Like, and I mean, that's not just the only thing I found funny, but that was just one of the more offensive ones that I was like, "Oh shit, I can't believe they actually like allowed this to be on here." But yeah, I didn't like share it to my page, so I just sent it to a couple people. Anyway, so yeah, yard sale this weekend. But yeah, there's one guy, he's like, "Oh, it's terrible for it." But it's like, yeah, if you kind of know how to use it, if like, that's the thing though. Some people don't know how to use it and then they post on there. And it's like, you can post, like some people will just post it in a group page or something like that. And like, they don't realize, they think it's going to like go to a bunch of people, but it's like it just goes to the people in that group. And of the people in that group, like the amount of people that are actually going to go to that sale, or the amount of people that actually will see it, like it's just cuts the amount of people down by so much. That's why I always try to share it to as many groups as possible. Like just, I'll share it to like different states, because I've had people come from different states, especially around this time. Like I'm sure I'll get like some crazy motherfucker will come and just buy, because I'm gonna have a ton of shit. I just started sorting it. I have like a bunch of electronics. I've got like a bunch of different shit. You know what I mean? So, and I always just pull it out, and I always do it cheap as fuck. And people are always like, "Does this work? Does this work?" I'm like, "Hey, it's $1. I don't fucking know." You know what I mean? Everything is, I don't know. Buy it at your own, because like most of the shit is untested or shit I just didn't feel like dealing with. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about having a yard sale, because usually when I have mine, it kind of kicks things off. Not like mine is like the, you know, the one to do it, but and And then the weekend after that, we're gonna be out of town, which I'm kind of bummed because like I'm sure there'll be a sale or something like that, but we're gonna be in a completely different place. We're going down south to, well, not like south, but like North Carolina, to Charlotte, in that area. So I'm gonna probably go to at least a couple yard sales on Saturday. Like that's an absolute must. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that like I think it's warmer. I'm hoping that like when we get back, it's like just like warmer in where we are, and I just hope it's just warm for the rest of the summer. But it probably won't happen. I might have to run up and check on my child. Nope, she's not at the door. But yeah, it's crazy how much stuff I have. All right, hold on. Let me pause this real quick. All right, I'm back. I had to go change my kid's diaper. And she's now at an age where she's like, I'm done with napping. So essentially, my oldest did this too. You go up there to change them. I swear my oldest would like wait to take her shits. And like I would go up there, change her, and she'd be like, all right, I'm done with my nap. Like, no, that's not how it works. You still got to chill for a little bit. She's only been up there for like 20 minutes. We usually do like an hour. And if she falls asleep, then it's like however long. But she usually falls asleep. But yesterday she didn't. And then we went to go get her sister. And she fell asleep in the car, like, you know, pretty much right when we got to the school. She fell asleep. So I'm trying to avoid that and have her nap. But she's up causing a ruckus. And, yeah. So anyway, yard sale. I always do this every year. I take like a bunch of my listings out off eBay. Just stuff that's like been sitting for a while. And then, you know, put it into the yard sale pile. So we'll see. I might have a few people come and take a look and pick through before, but I'm never like, I don't know if that's a good idea. But I don't know. I might see if a couple people want to come check it out prior to. But I don't have anything like crazy good this year. It's like mainly like just stuff that like, you know, I'm hoping to sell a lot of like bundles. You know what I mean? Like put enough decent toys in something to make somebody want to spend a decent amount on like a bin. I'm going to put a lot of stuff out in like bins, organized by bins, and just be like, you know, make an offer on the bin and see what happens. Like just put signs or whatever. So we'll see. Hopefully it's weather's supposed to be decent, not like it's going to be cold, but not like as cold as it's been, so it'll feel warmer. And yeah, I'm going to have to I usually get up at like 5 a.m. And like everything's organized already. So usually by 5 a.m. I'm like done by 6:30, and then like that way by 7 when somebody comes, I'm just like chilling and like, you know, everything's ready to go. I like to have shit ready to go. Like I try to put signs on shit. I go around the night before and I put up my signs. But if I get up like crazy early, like this time I'll probably go around in the morning. Because it'll probably be too cold at night. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I always worry that like somebody's gonna fucking jack my sign. Because people do steal the fucking signs. It's weird. Like I had one that was like missing. Just fucking was not. There was one day it was windy, so I was like maybe, but couldn't find it anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a windy day. Because I remember like thinking like it should be around. And then I've had ones that were like pulled out of the ground and just left there. And like then I've had people write on them. Like somebody drew an arrow going the other way. So people do fuck with the signs. But luckily, I mean, most people can figure it out. They just look it up on their phone if they really want to go figure out where it is. And I always try to put plenty of signs in the same area of places. So there hasn't been any yard sales announced this week, really. There's not there's one tomorrow that's an estate sale. But I always wait until Thursday and check and see, because you can kind of tell. Sometimes ones will pop up at the last minute, but typically when they pop up at the last minute, they're a reseller like me. If it's a really good looking sale or sounding sale or something like that, I might just send my wife and be like, yo, just fucking use your brain like me, think like me, and just fucking go. But yeah, and then you got the regulars that come to yard sales, and there's this one guy who he's messaged me on Facebook because he bought stuff from me. He bought one thing from me before, and he was he got all fucking entitled and shit, and was getting he got kind of shitty with me. He's like, oh, I couldn't be your yard sales, blah 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 blah, and I bought some from you. Would you do this money for me? I'm like, no. He was lowballing me on some shit. I was like, no. And then he just didn't respond again. And yeah, he always will show up and he'll be mad if I open early. Because I won't put no early birds or whatever. And he always comes in and he's annoyed that I'm open early. I'm I didn't put no early birds. So. Then he got he's said before when he was cashing out with me, because this is this will be the fourth time, and not even the fourth time. I do a couple of these a year, so it's I do them all the time, and he'll be yeah, I came to the last sale or something, but you're always open up earlier than you're supposed to. Just that's what resellers like. You know what I mean? I love when people reward me for being there early. There's certain times that people are I just want it gone, just come in. Sometimes they make me wait. I always feel it out and see what they want. If they're oh, come on in, My favorite is they start asking you what you want. It's I just start fucking firing it off. I'm this. I need to start asking for jewelry. But, yeah, I don't know. There's got to be an easier way to, blanket ask for stuff than, rapid firing it. I've had cards before, but I forgot to put QR codes on those ones, so I have to redo them. I don't know. That's not really related to what I was talking about, but sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm trying to locate my kiddo on the monitor. She might have fallen asleep. Usually when she gets all annoyed, she goes fucking lays down, but... who knows? So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's a good sale. I'm going to go from 8 a.m. to, I don't know, maybe noon. I don't know. I haven't decided. Either 8 to 11 or 8 to noon. Because let's face it, you're not going to do that much more later in the day. Maybe. But your best is going to come at the beginning and wipe you all out. So we'll see. I'm hoping that... people get here. It's cool because you can kind of figure out, see what time people get there too. You know what I mean? You can kind of do your little recon for the year. You can see who's hungry for inventory, who's going to show up early, who's going to cash out for stuff, So I have a ton of stuff that I'm trying to get rid of. Because my basement is it was cleaned out, and then I got a bunch of nonsense, and then just accumulating stuff that goes into the yard sale pile over time. And my wife threw a bunch of things of clothes in there, so we're gonna have so much clothes. I have a big bin that the guy at the post office gave me. It's an Amazon fucking delivery. It's huge. It's a tall, it stands up. But I think I might just throw the clothes in there and let people pick through the clothes kind of the bin style. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I have stuffed animals too. I'm like basically pulling a bunch of shit from my inventory, which like it usually slows my sales down, but my sales have already been slow, so I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, I want to sell as much stuff as I possibly can, and then I just want to be like aggressive with buying, and I still want to look at storage units when yard sale season starts, in hopes that like, some of the storage people are like preoccupied with yard sales, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get that lucky. Like even today, I was going after a storage unit, and I like bid, like I was like $40 was like my max on it. I got the text that was like, "Oh, you've been outbid," and I went and I looked at it later on to see like what it was, and it ended at like it was at like 110, and it had like somebody had like must have bumped it up, because anytime you bid within like the last 3 minutes, it extends the time like up by another 3 minutes. So there's still like a minute left, which means like it had been extended a bunch of times. Because this was like a half hour later, and it was at like 110, and I was like, dude, why the fuck? Like maybe there was a couple of like old chairs, but like I don't know. There wasn't enough in there for me to be like, all right, I'd pay more than $40. And you used to be able to get them for like 40. You know what I mean? You'd be able to get a couple units for under 100. Now it's fucking crazy. Like everybody and their mom is buying them. I'm gonna start looking out more like for like further in other places, and see if that helps. It's just gonna suck having to drive, but I've got the the U-Haul. What's it called? The utility trailer. Which that thing has already been clutch. Very happy with that purchase. I only paid $150 for it, and then like I think it was like $40 to get the registration, and then I had to pay what the fuck else? Paid the registration, so I was like $190. Oh, and then I just had to pay to install a trailer hitch, which was like another how much was it? Like it was like $400, but like we needed the trailer hitch anyway. So yeah, I can't remember exactly how much it was. I have it written down somewhere, but definitely worth it. Sorry. It is like, what time is it? It's like the middle of the day. Did a workout earlier. Started to get the yard sale stuff organized. That's like the key. If you're having a yard sale, you got to get that shit organized. Like just pull it out. I know you don't want to look at it and see it, but like just put it into one section of your house that you don't really use a ton. And then just like pull out some bins and start organizing it. And then the day of, I like organize it onto the tables, kind of. Some things I leave in the bins, but I don't know. This time I might just like leave as much in the bins as I can. So I'm hoping to get everything organized hopefully soon. And then yeah. Sorry, I'm just kind of like thinking out loud about this fucking yard sale that's coming up. Coming up quick. Anyway, I'm trying to think. I didn't go out to any sales this last weekend. There was one. I did go to one. So I was going to, they do like this little craft thing at Home Depot. So you can take your kids and they can like learn how to build stuff. I thought it was more crafty than buildy. I should have known it was like at the Home Depot, but it's like said 5 and up. So my oldest was better at it than the youngest. But like I was trying to do 2 at the same time. I had to bail on the second one. I was just like, I can't do this right now. I can't concentrate on this. I have to just do one. And I was trying to let them do it themselves. Oh, fuck. I thought she was sleeping, but she's not. She's fucking around with something. And so, yeah, I thought that... sorry, what was I saying? I don't know. I completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, let me go and see what type of stuff I've got to talk about. Oh, okay. So this is kind of going to be like a little bit of a ranty type. Oops, sorry. I'm just checking on my fucking child. Sorry. This is going to be a little bit of a ranty type of segment. But so the service industry, like, i.e., like servers, bartenders not so much. I don't know. My experience with bartenders has been like very limited lately, just because I've got children. I don't go to the bar. But like, we went out to eat at a restaurant, and it was like not that busy. It was like the middle of the day. And we go in and we got the kids. We just came from the playground, so we're like, all right, we're gonna we're just gonna order the food right away, and then just get whatever. So she comes over, and she took for a while to come over initially. So I'm like, all right, give her the benefit of the doubt, whatever. Mind you, again, it's like really not that busy at this time. She did have a big party that came in, but like big parties are not that hard. Like big parties actually are easy because they're all kind of entertaining each other. When it's a smaller table, like, people are drinking faster or whatever. But when there's like more people, they're kind of occupied. And like as long as you get that shit in, it's like whatever. You don't really have to do shit, it's just... I'm saying this from experience. Like, I used to take multiple gigantic parties and just be fucking chilling. Like, I would go outside and smoke cigarettes. I would just fucking rip cigarettes, like, while my tables were inside. Like, I used to be able to handle fucking full sections of restaurants, like multiple sections, and just be fine. And be on drugs, too. Like, be fucked up. Like... There was times when that shit caught up with me, but there was like, there was a lot of times when I was just like fucking running circles around other people, and while fucked up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So this fucking server, she was like pretty nice and friendly, whatever. She comes over finally. So we give her the order, and we're like, can we just order everything right now? And she's like, yeah, So she takes our order, and like we put everything in, and she like goes and puts it in, and she puts in like, we didn't ask her to put anything in separate. We just put it all in together. And so like a few minutes go by, and she comes out with a couple clam chowder that I ordered. I always get like clam chowder because my daughter fucking loves that shit. Like, and if she won't eat anything else, she'll eat that. So she's like, going to town on this clam chowder. They bring out the other kids meal that we ordered. So we ordered one kids meal for my daughter, and we bring that out, or they bring that out. And then like that, she just like, she must have forgot to put it in, which is perfectly fine, dude. That's 100% shit happens. But she was doing the thing where she was avoiding our table. So now you're like annoying me because like we need like water, we need like, and I'm not like, I don't drink like 50 waters, but like, you should like check in and shit and be like, hey, I'm sorry, like whatever. I don't care if you lie and tell me the fucking kitchen fucked up, like whatever. Just fucking tell me something. Don't avoid the table, avoid eye contact. Like, we're trying to call her over. Like, aside from me, like, yelling out, like, excuse me, sir, like, being that person, like, you know, we were just sitting there waiting. So, I usually get to a point where I'm like, all right, like, this is kind of ridiculous. And at one point I see her like walk by our table, and I'm like waiting, thinking she's going to like say something to us. And she kind of looks, and then she does like that walk to the closest computer to enter in some shit. Like, they have like the server stations where you enter some shit in. And that was like my move when I would forget some shit. But then I would go back and tell them like something, anything. And so she didn't say shit. Our kids are like, have already eaten, because like, while yes, you were trying to like be helpful by fucking sending the kids food out first, you also forgot to then put our food in. And it was like, took fucking forever. It was like almost an hour before, from when our kids' food got there to from when we finally were like, all right, like, it was like 45 minutes. I was like, all right, I'm leaving, because she hadn't even come back yet. So I was like, all right, let's just go up and we'll fucking just pay for whatever we ate already at the front. I hate even doing that. I'm always like, nah, fuck that. That's like whatever. But my wife's a goody two shoes, so she's like, we're gonna go pay. And then so like she paid. The chick comes over and she's just like, so I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I was going to give her, again, the benefit of the doubt. And she just, like, doesn't say sorry. Doesn't say, like, she's like, oh, you want to box your food up? And we're like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, the kids. Yeah, I get it. Like, basically, like, blamed our kids for, like, the reason that we had to leave. And she has a kid. She was, like, telling the other table, like, about her stupid-ass kid. And so she's, like, blaming our kids for it. It's like, no, bitch. Like, you fucking brought their food out and then, like, took forever. And then you didn't even own up to it. So then she said that, and then, and yeah, just never said sorry. So I was like, you know what, dude, I've had it with these fucking, the servers in the service industry. Like, I know it's not your best shift, not your best people at the shifts at like a noon shift midweek, but like, you're fucking leaving money, like, you're losing money by being fucking like, you're at that place to make money. Why don't you do it the best way that you can do it? Like, how, I don't understand how you can't just come over and say something, like, something, anything, be like, hey, sorry, like, you know what I mean? And then we were like getting ready to leave. I'm like, oh, did they put even a discount on there for like fucking taking forever, whatever? And Amy's just like, no. My wife's like, no. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, this is it then. So we didn't leave a tip, and like, listen, it takes a lot for me to not leave a tip. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, I over tip. I tip everybody, like, tip people that I shouldn't tip. Like, my wife's always like, why are you tipping that much? Like, I tip too much. But there's gotta, like, the $1 million idea. Like, I've honestly thought about this, and I'm like almost serious about trying to do it. But like, doing a franchise of like a company that probably already exists, but like a company that trains servers how to just not be dog shit. Because like, I've never walked out before ever, and like, in the last year I've walked out of like in the last few months I've walked out of 2 places. And like, whenever we go out to eat, it's like, it's limited. You know what I mean? We don't like to go out to eat too much, just because, one, we buy a bunch of food, then it goes to waste, or two, you got to deal with the kids when you're out. Like, it's not always super fun, like, bringing fucking kids out to go places. So anytime we do, it's like, it's a lot of shit to go out and to do. So it's just fucking, I'm over it. And not for nothing, but the last chick had like yellow hair, blue hair, some shit. This chick had like pink hair. So it's all these fucking people with the colored hair. Like, that should be an immediate red flag. If they come in with their hair colored like that, you should just be like, all right, you're going to suck at your job. I'm not even going to bother looking at the rest of your application. Like, seriously. So anyway, yeah, I just decided like, oh yeah, so like, I decided I'm going to go like full Karen, you know what I mean? And just, so I left a review. I was just like, it wasn't anything like bad, but just basically like, I'm not letting servers off the hook anymore. I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt. And, yeah, not going to do it. So anyway, I was watching, the fuck is the show? Gabby's Dollhouse with my kid. I wish I remember, like, I wish I had put the episode number down. But it was like they're making something with sprinkles, and so like they shake the sprinkles onto the table, and first it makes like the balls, and then they shake the sprinkles, and it's like clearly a dick and balls on the screen. Like, and so then I looked it up, and somebody else was like, yeah, it's, do they think that they couldn't have made that mistake? Like, that's a dick and a sprinkle dick. Like, it's fully a sprinkle dick. And yeah, it's like definitely a sprinkle dick. I can't remember which episode, but I'm like, is that like enough that like I should be like, oh, we're not watching this show anymore? Is a sprinkle dick like that? Is that where I'd have to draw the line at a sprinkle dick? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how to answer that. You know, sprinkle dick. It's funny. It's objectively funny making a sprinkle dick. But it's like, what if my kid's like, hey, what is that? Like, I don't think a kid's going to know what it is. I 100% knew what it was. It's very clearly a dick and balls made out of rainbow sprinkles. So, I don't know. Luckily, if it's a little boy that's but it's more a show for girls, I guess. But like, if the little boy saw that, he would definitely be like, oh, that's what's in between my legs, my little dick. So, anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna keep prepping for this yard sale. It might be a shorter episode today, just because I was really like, I wasn't planning on doing it today, and then my kid was fucking dicking around. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. That's at what, 36? It's like 41 something minutes. And then yeah, because I don't really have anything else to talk about this week. I really don't. I could talk about politics, but I just kind of am over it. I hate having to talk about it. It's it doesn't matter what anybody says. Most people's minds are like already made up. So it's like, it's not even like, yeah, not even something I feel like talking about. I'm trying to think of anything sports related. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't know what to talk about right now. I was going to have more things to talk about, but I just was basically squeezing this in when I could. And that's pretty much all I have to talk about this week. So I'll keep it short and sweet. And then we're going to be going on a road trip. So I definitely want to hit up some yard sales and stuff, but I don't know. I might bring my podcast, like a basic setup for the podcast, and do like an audio only while we're driving, just to see how that goes. But anyway, that's the podcast. Like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be back with a longer podcast in a couple of weeks. I don't know if I'm going to do one next week. I might take a week off just because we're going to be on the road, and then maybe like do multiple You know what I mean? Like do the one that's I was just talking about and then maybe do a second one. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. I don't fucking know. Hopefully this video actually works. Who knows? Hopefully the art so goes well. That's a podcast, and I'll talk to you later.